It's a fantastic event. This one, it gets bigger and better every time, but not too big. You know, you have the opportunity to really network and get to know some people, and you run into the same people several times during the course of the event. Nice and intimate, but big enough to be really relevant and very useful.
We want to protect our customers. We want to ensure our merchants are profitable. We want to ensure that we have vendors that are profitable, and but we need to make sure that everything is also safe. And you know, essentially, that's the goal of the Merchant Risk Council.
It's a big industry for the fraud and payments sector, and it's also one that has to be addressed between different departments in victim organisations. So between the cybersecurity department, between the fraud department, and between business and revenue generating aspects of the business, in order to basically secure a safe environment for customers and also to engage and continue with continuity for the business.
So it's a really serious issue, and if we think through the eyes of the criminal, then we'll find new solutions, because it's easy to just focus on trying to make our systems more secure and miss it because we're institutionally blind.
Managing fraud is about understanding who your legitimate customers are, because your primary goal is to protect your legitimate customers. That's what's going to help you to drive the conversion. So understanding your consumer's journey and taking advantage of all the data points that comes along the transaction lifecycle, you can enrich the models to identify the fraudsters more precisely. By doing so, you are avoiding the false positive scenario as much as possible. So the result of that will be a higher conversion, lower false positives, and a very accurate prediction of fraud as well.
Probably the biggest single new innovation is the machine learning explosion and the mining of the big data that is just changing the game for everybody.
The future will be more fingerprinting, biometrics, facial recognition potentially, mouse clicks, tilts of your phone, and all that comes around biometrics to provide you an instant gratification, but still making sure you are who you say you are.
The evolution of fraud prevention and fraud detection is actually very interesting. About 5 years ago, the state of the art was rules-based systems, and these were hand-managed, curated, and manually updated over time. Where we've gone now is we're seeing more and more machine learning deployments. And you can think of this where you still have these rules or this knowledge about the data encoded as features that are then plugged into machine learning models. We're now seeing deep learning models begin to outperform in very meaningful ways and providing stepwise improvements in their accuracy. And this is taking us to a world where the model is now learning the features and the relationships between those features itself, and not requiring us to encode those as the service providers for the fraud prevention. The clear evolution we're seeing is that these more sophisticated deep learning models are providing a huge step in accuracy and performance.
So understanding your actual customer profile will help you tackle the fraud scenarios. So one of the key aspects here is to take advantage of machine learning, where you can study your regular patterns in terms of trading, in terms of seasonality, in terms of the consumer's actual behavior, which will help you when there are anomalies that comes out of it, or when there is real fraud happening, then you will be able to block those fraudsters and deliver the better service.
One of the biggest learning we got lately was that we actually need to make sure that we're very invisible to the users, and so that our fraud checks are super quick. So that's one of the biggest strategy that we've done this year.
In order to understand how to prevent it, you need to first look at what fraud is occurring. That would be the starting point for any merchant. How big a fraud issue is how big is my issue, but also what's driving that. And then from there you can then go and try and target the biggest proportion of that and try and set up a steady strategy.
I would say the theme of the Dublin conference is the future is now. With all of the people that have been in this organization and are part of this organization, they have actually created the future. They've created the technologies. They have created the solutions and the authentication that we need in order to be effective and make commerce safe and profitable for everyone. And that future's now, and it's been realized. We still know that there's some work to be done, but we've accomplished a significant amount with this industry.